I'm here today with Paula Nelson, a co-owner of Right at Home in-home care and assistance. Hi Paula, thanks for being here today.
Hi Catherine, thanks for having me.
Okay, normally around the area we call it Right at Home Care,
Yes.
which is a very popular in-home care provider here in West Michigan. And so tell me a little bit how you got involved with in-home care.
Well, actually, my husband and I own the agency, and the reason we got involved was because quite a few years ago, my father had dementia. At the time, he had 3 grown daughters living in 3 different states, and we were all far away. Our options for him were Meals on Wheels or to put him in a facility. And we found that to keep him safe, we needed to put him in a facility. But it was really difficult for us, and to be honest, he never really forgave us for it. So what I wanted to do, my background is social work, I'm a social worker, was to be able to come alongside families that are in a similar crisis situation and make things easier for them, to give them a lot of options so that they can take those difficult times and still get a lot of quality out of them.
So then what kind of services does Right at Home Care provide?
Well, technically we're a non-medical home care agency. So we do things like meal preparation, we do light housekeeping, we do laundry, change linens, we make trips to the grocery store or errands. We can take somebody to the doctor, to the bank. We do medication reminders. We do a real wide variety of things because what we do is based on that family's needs.
Okay, so who would be generally a typical client for you then?
It's interesting because our clients are all so different and we do different things for every client. So for us, it's a senior who has a desire to stay at home and keep their independence. It's, the age is really older than you would expect. We find that seniors often start getting services in their late 70s, where we kind of thought it might be a little earlier. But it's different for everybody. We provide care for anyone from age 21 and older.
Okay, so the whole range.
The whole range, and we do absolutely different things for everybody.
Now I noticed when I looked at your website, one of the things that really stood out to me was the process in which you choose your caregivers. And I think that's something that sets you apart from other in-home care providers. And I wondered if you could tell me about that process that you use for making sure you're getting quality caregivers and the right caregivers.
Well, quality caregivers are really a key to providing great service, and that's what our goal is. So when we do the employment process, we start out with the aides needing to take a quiz. So based on the skill level of care that they want to provide, we have different quizzes that they have to pass in order to provide that level of care. We do interviews with 2 different people in the office. We check references. We do criminal background checks. We do pre-employment drug screening. We also check sex offender registry and physical abuse registry.
And then once you're hiring these caregivers, what's your process then for placing different caregivers with your clients?
Well, we always try and make a really good match. So we try and match clients on the care level that they'll need with an aide that is competent with that skill level. But we also look at where people live. We look at personalities. We want the client to look forward to having that aide coming to their house as a way to expand their socialization and to have it be a positive experience for them. So the other thing is that the client always has their choice of aide. If for some reason they're just not comfortable with an aide for any reason at all, we certainly respect that and we replace that aide for them. They are always the boss in their house.
Right, so important, to still have that control over your living situation when you're losing some control.
Absolutely, as much control as possible. So if they like things done a certain way, that's how we do it. If they like their laundry folded a certain way, or things put in the cabinet a certain way, that's what we do.
Right. And because the caregivers are so important, I was hoping maybe you could share a story of one particular client and caregiver where a caregiver went above and beyond the call of duty.
You know, there's so many I could tell you about. One just happened last week where we had a caregiver at a client's house. She was concerned because the client wasn't just quite her normal self. And she called the office. We were also concerned. We called the family. The family was concerned. We called 911 and we sent her off by ambulance to the hospital. She was showing signs of a stroke, and so she was able to get immediate treatment. She's currently out of the hospital in rehab. But I just spoke to the family this morning, and they were so grateful that we caught it right away.
And that comes from that caregiver really knowing the client that they had been working with and attuned to what her needs were and what she goes through.
And what her normal is, what her normal level is. We do a lot of caregiver education, so our caregivers are well versed on signs of stroke, what the warning signs might be. And she was able to recognize those and to act on it. I mean, that's really the important part, is we really try and empower our aides to act on something that they have a concern about. So they're going to call the office and let us know right away so that we can follow through with that.
Really giving those families such a sense of security knowing that their loved ones are cared for.
Absolutely.
Well, Paula, thanks for coming in today. Paula Nelson from Right at Home in Home Care and Assistance.